Hey kings, queens, and in-betweens, it's me, Guity. Happy International Women's Day. Today I am just rocking it free and easy, no elaborate, headdress or anything like that, because it is Women's Day today, and I can be free to be myself. I don't have to hide or pretend who I am right now. You know, there's a lot of things I want to talk about today on International Women's Day, some really important things that. Oh my god, is that a bold patch? Ew. Jesus Christ. Stay away from that mirror. Let's start with that, okay? So there's this whole thing about, you know, we have rats in this ceiling for sure. Disgusting. There's this whole thing about being a woman or being a trans woman. A lot of it, has to do with outward appearances. So that's the way that you present yourself to the world, whether it be, getting the boob job done, raising those cheekbones up, getting your nails done. Oh my god, overdue. Your hair, your makeup, right down to, you know, chopping that penis off, going the whole hog, so to speak. And it's a really reductive way of looking at, femininity. If it's just what's on the outside and the way you appear to the rest of the world, that's not being a woman. Being a woman is a lived experience. And unfortunately, I'm just never going to be able to 100% say that I have that entire lived experience as a woman, because I did start my journey as a man, as hard as it is to believe that this was once a man, okay? But it's the truth. It's the truth. And, it doesn't matter what I look like on the outside. It's what I feel in here, in my heart, in my spirit, in my soul. And it's what's going on in my head as well, Outward appearances are literally only skin deep. And to say that you have to look a certain way or act a certain way to be a woman is just, it's straight out of, the patriarchy playbook. It's bringing femininity and womanhood back to the way it was in the 1950s, when women stayed at home and were housewives and they didn't work and were in a lot of ways seen as second-class citizens. Women only last century in a lot of places for a long time, they weren't allowed to vote, they weren't allowed to, or just didn't work. Even driving cars was forbidden. For Christ's sake, Saudi Arabia only just passed laws for women to be able to drive. And yet, here we are in 2021, and almost the crux of the transgender issues today is, on one hand, saying that we have to accept people for who they are, and if you say you're a woman or a man, we have to take you as your word, at your word. But then, conversely, there's this enormous pressure to, conform to certain beauty standards. If I walk down the street as I am now, people are going to say, well, look at that queer guy go. And I'm not a queer guy, okay? I am straight. I'm a straight woman, okay? I love to have sex with dudes, with guys, but as a woman, okay? I'm not a man. I may look like a man, but inside I feel like a woman, okay? Why do I need to go to all this effort, crimping and primping and popping and locking just to adhere to some archaic, beauty standards from hundreds of years ago, really? there's more to it than just looks alone. And I thought today, International Women's Day, would be a great day to really, broach that subject. Because when you usually see me, I have the long flowing locks, and, my features are softer. Even my voice right now, it's not the same bubbly ambiguity voice that it is. And I'm not apologizing for that, because so much of what I do is, almost purely performative. And in a lot of ways, it breaks me. What is that? Is that a zit? I don't even know. It's like a little Indian bindi. God, I'm going to get canceled for that. Well, it looks like a bindi. I don't know what it is. What was I saying? Performative. Everything I do is performative. And I feel like it's for somebody else. It's not for my own enjoyment or pleasure. And I'm just tired of it. I mean, is that the lived female experience? Doing, altering your appearance and the way you present to the rest of the world for other people's benefit. I hear these arguments that oh, women just they love to do makeup and wear tight-fitting dresses and spend hundreds of dollars on haircuts every other month because it's for them. It's because it makes them feel good. And I'm sure it does. I mean, it makes me feel good to do those things. But I also know that a big part of me doing those things is to feel accepted. And then if I don't do them, I'm going to be ridiculed and I'm going to be questioned. If I walk into the ladies' bathroom like this, people are going to say, hey, that dude just walked into our bathroom. Get him out. He might try, be a, perv on us. And it's just like, no, I am one of you girls, okay? I may not look like you, but on the inside, it's what's on the inside that counts. And again, I think today of all days, International Women's Day is a great day to broach that subject. I think I also want to talk about this whole super straight movement. Now, I think it started as a joke, but it's a good point, because the whole LGBTQI plus movement is meant to be about inclusivity and acceptance of people's preferred sexual proclivities, persuasions, whatever, how they feel on the inside, right? And yet, you get certain bad actors, people in the so-called trans community, whatever the hell that is, because I know for a fact that I'm not hanging out with purely trans people on a day-to-day basis. But these people in the so-called trans community saying that if you are a straight male or straight female and you refuse to have sex with a transgendered man or woman of your opposite sex, then you are in turn a transphobe. And that is just insane, okay? Because if you're not attracted to somebody, then why the hell would you have sex with them, okay? Now, in my case, you're going to look at me, you're going to say, gorgeous. So it's a no-brainer. But I've seen some of these girls out there, and I'm just like, you're not fooling anyone, honey, okay? Go home, try again, and maybe better luck tomorrow. But you can't blame anyone for saying no to you, and I think people, despite what you say you are and what you feel on the inside, there's just some transgender people that are not going to be able to successfully pass as the gender that they feel on the inside, on the outside. Again, take me for example right now. I am a woman, but I look rather masculine, I've got the facial hair, I've got the short hair on top, I'm not doing a super girly voice. It's a little affected, but it's not, it's nothing outrageous. I've got, this sheer kind of, silky thing, but it just feels nice, you know. I don't have a boob job done because, you know, money is an issue, all right? I'm not a freaking millionaire. And honestly, if I went up to a straight man right now and said, you know, would you like to engage in sexual intercourse with me? And he said no. First of all, well, yeah, that's just no. That's a no. That's a straight, that's a straight no. And I shouldn't really infer anything more on that other than, well, he does not want to have sex with me. But to make this leap in logic that the no is based on some kind of transphobic instinct is just ludicrous. And this propagating of ideology that to say no to trans people in regards to sexual intercourse is transphobic is just, it's really rapey, okay? Because you're saying, if a trans person comes up to you and says, you know, do you want to go on a date or come back to my place, whatever it is, and you say no, you're transphobic. So what, if it's that go for anybody? If someone comes up to me and says, someone, you know, a cisgendered person into another cisgendered person, says, hey, let's go bang right now, and you say no, that person says, one of them says no, then they're being cisphobic. Is cisphobic even a thing? Of course it's not, because cis is the norm, so we don't worry about what's normal or what the norm is. But no, that's not considered anything. That's just, there's no consent, there's no attraction, whatever. It's not even a thing. So I can understand why super straight is trending at the moment. The idea that there are going to be people out there that only want to have relations with other cisgendered people. I mean, that is fine. It doesn't make them transphobic. It just makes them people that are so inclined. You know, they're born that way, supposedly. Who knows? I mean, when did we all start being so entitled to think that it's our business to know who is and isn't sleeping with whom? It's disgusting. We're moving towards some kind of, I mean, we're already in it. This ultra police state where everyone is under constant surveillance, and it's not the cameras on the street corner like you think it is. It's the constant social media exposure and people posting relationship status and who they're with and what they're doing and where they're doing it and when they're doing it. And this scrutiny from our peers. You know, in China they have the social credit system, and I mean, we basically already have it. It's likes, you know? How many likes am I getting for the post I just made? If I make a post about dating a trans person, am I going to get a whole bunch of likes? Are people going to think that I'm really progressive and accepting and just woke and awesome? Probably, yeah. And you know, that kind of social credit goes a long way today. And it ties into your workplace, your family, and your friendship groups, and it's trickled down social credit. We don't have an economy anymore because nobody's working. Everyone's out of work from effing and jeffing corona. Can't open a small business. Jeff Bezos owns everything. Elon Musk's taking us to Mars. And so our only currency at the moment is how woke, how progressive, how accepting and tolerant we are of everything and anything. And, you know, years ago, people were saying same-sex marriage was going to end up with things like bestiality being normalized and, incestuous relationships being normalized. And I don't think same-sex marriage has done that, but I think the transgender agenda, I'm going there, okay? I think it's taking us down a dangerous route or root, if you will. I prefer root, you know what I'm saying? My Australian fans will know what I mean when I say root. But in all seriousness, when everything's permissible and nothing is disallowed, it's murky waters. You know, it's really difficult to navigate that kind of territory. And if everyone's terrified of being canceled and losing their social cachet because they declined a date from a trans person, or, you know, didn't like a post from Caitlyn Jenner, or, you know, didn't change their Instagram feed to a black square, whatever it is, these little, you know, social flexes that we do, these virtual, I can't say it, virtue signals, oh my god, I'm just gonna stop trying altogether. You know what I mean, though? These little acts that we're meant to engage in and perform with, and if you don't do them, it's noticed, and it's noticed by your friends, your family, your colleagues, and it has implications, you know? So, yeah, again, International Women's Day, raise a fist, or two fists, in solidarity, and to all women, in any shape, size, color, you know, but try not to get too crazy with it, you know. I'm a woman, but I also understand that I'm not always going to be seen that way. And that's okay. It's okay, because it's what's on the inside that counts. So don't worry too much about how things look on the outside. It's what's in here that matters. Stay woke.